Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. The Sooners kick off what could be a massive recruiting week, landing four-star wide receiver Zion Ragins from the state of Georgia. And this is a guy that just brings a different element of juice to an offense. You take a look at the track times, 10.4 700-meter dash time as a freshman in the state of Georgia, ran the fastest 100-meter in state history for a ninth grader. This dude has some serious juice, and you're seeing the Sooners really prioritize speed in this 2024 class at that pass catcher position. Now, before we get into Zion Ragins, just want to say thank you to the Oklahoma fans. It's been a blast talking Sooners football, whether we're talking the post-spring game, whether we're talking recruiting, whether we're talking the transfer portal. You guys have shown a ton of support. So if you do enjoy the content, you enjoy the updates, consider subscribing to the channel. Again, can't thank you guys enough for rocking with the fellas. And let's get into Zion Ragins. So we talked about the track speed. This kid, though, is more than just a straight, and you see this a lot in terms of wide receivers coming from high school. They're just straight burners, right? Vertical guys that are track guys playing football. Zion Ragins, football player that has a good track background. That's kind of how I would describe him, because he is not only extremely dangerous working vertically down the field, but he's a guy with the ball in his hands. Extremely slippery, extremely good at changing direction, and just has a really good knack for making people miss, making safeties take bad angles, and a guy that can take a screen and take it 80 yards for a touchdown. Want to get into the film a little bit to show what we're talking about. But he's a guy that, what I would sum this up as a dude that can win in a variety of different ways. Right now, you're going to see him lining up at that running back position, take a little toss, and just make people miss and bring it to the house. He has a really good feel for having that football in open space, which is so nice because you can just scheme him up, touches again. Safety takes a bad angle, like he's gone. Makes someone miss at the second level and takes it to the house. Really smooth mover with the football. And again, I love the fact that he's not just a vertical threat. Right now, you're taking a little bubble screen, make a bunch of people miss in a phone booth, and then, again, you take a bad angle on him, he is going to take it to the house. He's the fastest football player on the field. One concern, I guess you'd say, is he is a little bit small, but he's going to put on that weight when he gets on a campus. He doesn't play small, though. You see him playing running back, has really good contact balance, plays with some physicality, and again, you see that straight line speed. Now, he's also a guy that you're going to see a lot of bubble screens. I wouldn't say he's just a gadget guy that you want to get to the football with on an end around or a screen, because he has some chops in terms of a route runner too. So here's kind of what he brings to the field when you're talking verticality, right? This safety, if he doesn't respect that speed, does not start running. I mean, that back pedal ain't going to cut it against Zion Ragins, and he runs right by him. And that's one thing that we talked about Jaquez Petaway a little bit in terms of that verticality. Even if you're not catching footballs, but you have that speed that Zion Ragins has, teams are going to have to respect that. They're going to have to put a safety over top of you, and that opens the middle of the field up for a lot of other guys too. So even if Zion Ragins is not catching footballs, he's opening the offense up a little bit in terms of what he can bring with that speed and pressing vertically down the field. Now, I want to talk about what the Sooners are doing in this 2024 class, because what you have to be most excited about is the pass catchers that are going to be surrounding really talented quarterback play, right? You have Jackson Arnold in that 2023 class. You have Michael Hawkins in the 2024 class. And then you have Sperry in the 2025 class. So you know that you're going to have good quarterback play, probably going to be from Jackson Arnold. But you take a look at the pass catchers that are going to be surrounding whoever's playing quarterback. Zion Kearney, top 100 national dude. Devon Mitchell, another top 100 national dude. Just a mismatch nightmare at that tight end position. And then you take a look down the list. Ivan Carrion, a 6'6", 196-pound wide receiver. We talked about him as well. There's a lot of different pass catchers in this group that can do a lot of different things. And quite honestly, my two favorite wide receivers in this class might be Zion Ragins, and then you go down to a guy in KJ Daniels coming from the state of Louisiana, who's another absolute burner, who apparently ran a 4.3 40 at one of his camps. You have two guys who, yes, they are small, right? Both 5'9", under 165 pounds. But what they bring to the field in terms of their speed, their playmaking ability, and their ability to be dangerous with the football hands, there are so many different wide receivers and types of pass catchers that are going to be able to hurt defenses. You match that up with what is a phenomenal quarterback play in any packs that could be playing while these guys are catching balls for the Sooners. You got to be really excited. Now, this 2024 class, you go back up, and this is something we've been kind of preaching, right? This 2024 class, in terms of commitments, got off to a slow start, right? This is your 14th commitment. You're sitting around top 20 class in the country, not necessarily Sooner standard. But we've been kind of saying, like, the amount of traction they're getting with some of these guys who've been on campus and their top targets, this is going to be a class that's going to be a top 10 class when it matters, when guys are signing on in December, right? And taking a look at some dudes that will be coming, I want to talk Taylor Tatum first, the number one running back in the class. He's committing this weekend. Sounds like he's trending to Oklahoma. It's a USC-Oklahoma battle. You add Taylor Tatum into this class, you're looking at an elite offensive class, right? You have Michael Hawkins, followed by Jackson Arnold in that 2023 class. You have the number one running back. You have a plethora of good pass catchers. You're getting really excited about what this offensive playmaking will look like for the Sooners. And then you take a look down on one more guy I want to talk about, Bennett Warren, one of the top tackles in the class, was trending to Michigan for a while. I really wouldn't be surprised if Oklahoma can come in and get this one done. He's from the state of Texas, and as a Michigan fan, the reason I don't think he's gone to Michigan is we've kind of filled up our Michigan, that offensive line class for Michigan. So he might pivot to another school, maybe the Sooners, that might be a little less dense in terms of their class. And then the next part you want to talk about is just what this defensive line class could look like. And that's when you talk defense for the Sooners, that's where it starts. That's where Brent Venables wants to start. It's that defensive line. David Stone, again, he's taking his time with this process. Sounds like he should be an Oklahoma Sooner by the end of December. That's I kind of where I'm at with that take. Take a look at some other guys, and yeah, they've lost some key targets. Joseph Jonah going to Georgia, that one hurt. Nigel Smith, sounds like they're still in a really good position for him. I'd even throw Dominic McKinley in a spot where you're battling it out for him. You even go down the list, like David Stone, and then you talk about a guy in Williams Emaneri. This is a class for Oklahoma that still really could be special. And we've talked about this for a while. It's not unrealistic that you're talking about David Stone, Williams Emaneri, and Taylor Tatum all in this class for the Sooners by the end of December. And you're talking that if you're able to get that done, you're talking about a top 8, maybe even top 5 class if they can sprinkle in some more big-time targets. So for Oklahoma fans, it's starting to heat up. We've been kind of talking about this throughout the month of June and early July. Just be patient. They're starting to trickle in. It does sound like this week could be the floodgates opening up a little bit for them boys down in Norman, because it does sound like a lot of top targets are trending the Sooners' ways. It's going to be exciting to talk about it, to keep an eye on it. Again, appreciate you guys for rocking with the boys. If you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel, and we'll talk to y'all later.